What is up, guys? How's it going? It's Dave here, bringing you a new video. Should hopefully be a weekly video of matchup predictions, where I'm just going to run through all the matchups, go through some of the key players in those matchups, and give you a sort of rough score as to what I think the match will end up. And hopefully have a little bit of fun with it, see how many I can get right as the year progresses, see what you guys think, if you agree or disagree. A few of you will disagree, obviously. But yeah, let's go into it. So the first match, I'm going to get myself out of the way here, try to be as unbiased as possible. I'm up against Nick, you know, the boat, toot toot. So I have Drew Brees in my corner, up against Nick's Aaron Rodgers. We both have two very elite quarterbacks. Rodgers will probably come out on top, the way I look at it. Brees can generally have great games all the time, but there are some times where he falls off a little bit, whereas Rodgers generally has a great game every game. Now, this is where we move on to the better players for each side. Now, NFL Fantasy has me being the running back god in this game. My Devonta Freeman, they think that he will rack up roughly 23 points. And while that's doable for a running back, it might not happen. But they believe that my Freeman will score more points than both of Nick's running backs combined. Now that's Eddie Lacy and Matt Jones, two very good running backs. For me, it's whether or not Devonta Freeman can carry on that brilliant form that he had last year. Hopefully he does. Now, on the other hand, Nick has better receivers than me, according to NFL Fantasy, anyway. Fitzy, Doug Baldwin, OBJ, they're predicted to get 42 points between them. Now, I have Des Bryant, I've got Willie Snead. We shall see how things go. But we know that for Nick, Fitz can score, he'll get the end zone, he'll score. OBJ can light it up every game. Question is whether or not Doug Baldwin will produce or not. And some people do know that Baldwin has those hit and miss. But I'm going to go on the fact that running backs generally get more points, win games, and if Freeman can carry on that form, I think I'll peg this one. I've got myself winning at 108 points to 102. As we move on to the next game, we have Matty against Ron. Now, quarterback-wise, Matty has got David Carr, and Ron has got Matt Ryan. Now, David Carr, still a young quarterback. You know, he is proven that he can be a viable quarterback. He can win games. He can get points, and it helps that he's got Amari Cooper to throw to, which is one of Matt's receivers as well. Matt Ryan, on the other hand, I think he's slowly declining in production. But I mean, he's got Julio Jones to throw to, so it's not like he hasn't got weapons. He has his good games, he has his bad games. You know, Ron will be hoping that he has a good game. Running back wise, I wouldn't say either of these guys have elite running backs. Matty does have CJ Anderson, which is good, but they both have the ex-teammates that used to play together, D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart. Now, obviously, Le'Veon Bell is suspended at the moment, so D'Angelo Williams will fill in. And when he filled in last year, he played really well. I don't think anyone expected him to play well, but he played well. And Jonathan Stewart, you know, since Williams is gone, Jonathan Stewart has showed that he can be a feature back. And Ron at the moment doesn't have a defense, doesn't have a kicker, so I'm going to have to add on a few extra points, you know, just because of that. But I think what it's going to come down to is the fact that Matty has Rob Gronkowski, and Jimmy Garoppolo is most likely going to start week 1 for the Pats, and we all know that quarterbacks who with no experience, they love their tight ends and what a tight end would be thrown to with Gronk. So I think Matty's going to peg this one 100 to 98. So next up we have Rob and Phil. Now this is going to be a hyped up game. There's going to be shade thrown everywhere. Phil's probably going to come up with some bets. Fantasy is going to be back and forth until this game is over. Now Rob has got Bortles, obviously, quarterback, loves him. He's throwing against Green Bay. So is Rob going to be going for Bortles, or is he going to be going for Green Bay? Sure. Phil has got Matt Stafford. And the thing with Matt Stafford is he's got no Megatron anymore. So can he produce the numbers that he has in the past without Megatron? Time will tell. The big thing about these two guys is they both have really good receiver cores. Rob is going with Julio Jones, Mike Evans, and Kevin Benjamin. Brilliant receivers. Hopefully Benjamin comes back from his injury. He's been out all of last season to really light it up. And Phil has got T.Y. Hilton, Laundry, and Michael Crabtree. Now Michael Crabtree is maybe the odd one out there. Crabtree can have flashes of brilliance, which I think is what Phil is hoping for this year. I think the big one for Phil to win this one would be how Spencer Ware plays. Spencer Ware comes in, obviously replacing the injured Jamal Charles for the moment. He could win it for Phil, but I don't think he's going to. And I've got Rob to win this one at 112 to 101. So next we have Nigel against Nick Pierce. Now Nigel is rolling with Tyrod Taylor. He's gonna get some good points. I mean, he's a guy that's gonna rush in for touchdowns. He's gonna throw a few touchdowns. He might not get the elite numbers like the Cam Newtons and the Rodgers, the Breeze, and all that will get. But the fact that he's got that ground game as well, he can run. That really bigs him up a lot more. Now Nick, he's got Andrew Luck. We know that Andrew Luck has a great arm. He is a very smart quarterback. Question is whether or not he's going to play well after surgery from last year. And we all saw his production decline with his injury. Hopefully he's back 100% healthy and does the job. They both have two brilliant running backs. Nigel's got David Johnson and Nick's got Mark Ingram. Obviously Mark Ingram's the more experienced of the running backs and has slowly progressed as the years have gone on. David Johnson, brilliant year last year. Hopefully doubles his production, just becomes amazing. And I think what's going to win it is the receivers. Now Nigel has gone for two ex-Eagles receivers, Deshaun Jackson, Jeremy Maclin, two really fast guys, good receivers, both in different teams now. Haven't so much produced as much since leaving the Eagles. Deshaun's playing really well at times. Jeremy just gets injured a lot. Nick, on the other hand, has AJ Green, Mike Floyd, and Alshon Jeffrey, all three receivers that can have brilliant days. And I think the fact that Nick has those three good receivers will win it for him. About 115 for Nick to 102 for Nigel. So now we go on to Craig versus Steve. Now these two have brilliant quarterbacks. Craig is rolling with Big Ben. Big Ben's obviously got Antonio Brown to throw to, who's in Steve's team. So however well Big Ben plays could determine how well Antonio Brown plays. How? And Steve has got Russell Wilson. Now, Russell Wilson, everyone is pegging him to have probably a breakout year. He'll really show how he is as a quarterback this year without beast mode to, carry a lot of the load. He's got to throw well to the likes of Doug Baldwin, and he's got to use those feet to move around. I think he's going to have a brilliant year. I think he's going to score a lot of points. Receiver wise, I mean, Steve's got the standout receiver in Antonio Brown, but what they've got is they've both got a Green Bay Packer. Craig's got Randall Cobb, Steve's got Jordy Nelson. So they're going to hope that Aaron Rodgers has a good game but favours one of the two receivers more than the other. The thing that I think is going to win this though is the running backs. Running backs score points. We all know this. With it being PPR, it is a little bit more balanced, but running backs do score the points. And Steve's rolling with Shady McCoy and Latavius Murray, who are good running backs, but Craig has got Doug Martin and Todd Gurley, two of the best backs from last year. Gurley played outstandingly and missed the first 4 games last year. These two guys will probably light it up again this year, and that's why I think Craig will win 108 to 98. So the last game we've got here is Chris versus James. Both of them are rolling with sort of mid-par quarterbacks, in my opinion. Chris has got Eli Manning, who is hot and cold all the time. And James is going with Kirk Cousins, who played well last year, but, you know, so young, hasn't proven himself yet. And we'll see how he does this year. Running back wise, they've both gone for veterans. Chris has gone for Adrian Peterson, who, as we know, can light up the league so well. But is he too old now? Will he still be able to produce? That's the risk you take now with Adrian Peterson. And the same could be said for James with Matt Forte. Matt Forte is over 30 now. He's joined a brand new team. So the question is he going to be as productive as he was in the past? And the thing that James has got going from here with Forte is a brilliant receiving running back. And with it being a PPR league, that's a few extra points in the bag there for James, I think. Receiving wise, Chris has got 3 receivers that can have great games. Golden Tate can be like the #1 guy in Detroit now if he wants to. Emmanuel Sanders is brilliant, can light it up when he needs to. And Julian Edelman. But the problem with Edelman right now is Tom Brady will not be throwing him in week 1. Whereas James has got, well, I say 2 really good receivers, DeAndre Hopkins and Allen Robinson. And those 2 guys will catch a lot of balls, score touchdowns, get a lot of points. The hardest thing about scoring this one was the fact that James doesn't have a defense or a kicker at the moment, so I've had to add about 10 to 15 points for him to compensate. I don't know who he's going to pick, so I can't judge. And Chris has a player who is injured on his team. Now, I don't know if he realises this, so Chris, if you're listening, and you haven't realised this yet, Tyler Eifert is injured. He's not due back till week 4. So change your tight end, because that could help you win the game. That being said, I do have James to win this one, 105 points to 95. So that's it, guys. That's my predictions. You might leave a comment if you want to see anything else in this, if you want me to go into more detail or leave certain things out. And, you know, good luck next week, and we'll see how well I can predict. See you later.